45.
Looks like Tom Duncan.
Sounds like, must be a duck.
Jersey girls are the best.
Yeah.
What?
The bunny ears are back.
All right. They are making fun of my beard on this episode.
It's looking good, Fob. I love it.
Guys, welcome back to another edition of Laugh, Learn, and Eat. We are powered by Social Coach. You notice I stole the t-shirt from Joe.
Powered by my stock of t-shirts. I like it. Okay, we'll take it.
We're coming for you live from Orlando, Florida at the NAMMBA Connect 24. And I think our guest, Joe, honestly, needs no introduction. Like if you're in the mortgage arena, if you're in the mortgage space, and you don't know the lady sitting next to me, first of all, shame on you, wake up, right? Because if you don't know Corrina Carter, you're missing out on one of the greatest stories in the mortgage industry of our time right now. So our guest, Corrina Carter,
And
founder of
probably
CMS.
the most fashionable mortgage broker in the business as well.
Fashionable is that, I mean, dude, like Ellen John got nothing on her.
Yeah. That's right. I love it. The glasses just make it
Corrina, before I
happen.
start, how are you doing? Look, we hugged each other. We hadn't seen each other in how many years?
Yeah. Oh, what's it been, a year and a half, 2 years?
No, 3 years. I don't know.
It's like 2 years ago.
I feel like I've been hiding in a cave or something.
The beard.
See, there it goes. They're making fun of the beard again, guys. It's happening.
Yeah, things are going great. Things
Yeah?
are going really good. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, things are great.
I know the mortgage industry, we're coming around that turn, right?
Yeah.
There's a bubble like seems to be about like ready to start happening. Some really
Tsunami's happening.
It's happening.
Yeah. If you are out there being seen, talking, being heard, you're going to be picked.
You're speaking my language, Corrina.
The
That's just
tsunami's happening.
it. You have to be out in front.
Yeah.
And what better person to be doing that than you?
Yeah.
So talk to us about it. Like, so the last couple of years have been kind of turbulent,
Sure.
but you've stayed afloat.
Absolutely.
Okay. What kept you going?
So we've gone from 40 loan officers to 140 loan
Oh
officers.
my
my
God.
God.
So
That's crazy.
in 18 months.
Jesus.
Wow.
So, but the good thing about that is it's right up your alley. It's we are bringing people in to be themselves. So we're trying to be the unicorn of brokerages. And what that looks like is we have about 40 different brands underneath of us.
Love it.
So meaning they come in, they can be themselves, they can be their own name, they can look and feel like they want to feel. So as well, getting some of the younger generation
Mhm.
motivated, energized in the business.
We were just talking about that.
Yes. How do you do that? You do that and they say their bank such and such or their lender such and such? No, you do that because they want to be them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we're letting them brand themselves, be their own selves, and it's taken off.
That's the smartest thing you do because look, we all know this. People want to do business with people, not with companies.
That is
So
correct.
it doesn't really matter what your company name is.
Doesn't matter.
They don't care about that. You have no ego. That's perfect. I love it. That's it. Yeah.
Someone just said to me the other day, ego is not my amigo.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good one.
So we can keep that in mind, right, guys?
Yeah, it's
So,
perfect.
so let's talk about this, Corrina. When you go from 40 loan officers to 140 loan officers in 18 months, first of all, that is just a phenomenal
in a
clip
down market,
in a down market, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just the transition support is in my mind, right? The first thing I think is licensing, right?
Licensing, yes.
Technology.
Yes.
I mean, how do you and then I see you around like talking at FAM a couple of weeks ago, and then I saw you at other places that you go, and you got all this other great story that you're talking to everybody. How do you do all that?
I've got great people like Mo, who's my left hand.
Our stalker over there. You guys can't see the stalker behind the camera.
I've got Deshaun, who's helped me run all the
Sean's a great guy, yeah.
And then I picked up Dora, who is our younger version of us, who's
Okay.
bringing some really good stuff to the table. So we really have a really great team that we're forming of what is attracting what I would consider the new age originator.
Okay.
Wow.
So-
New age of originator. I like that.
So you teach and coach this, right?
Well-
how do you get out there in front of people?
Look, she's
and
taking over the show, man. She's flipping the table on you, Joe.
Okay. Yeah.
This is your business. You teach and coach them on how to be the new age originator. So we're letting them represent the new age originator with supporting what you're teaching and coaching, which unfortunately some people our age don't support, Bobby, right?
Well, I mean, here's the deal: is you actually the case study of your growth is the perfect analogy for what you're telling your originators to do, right? You are the lightning rod of the organization. People are coming there in droves because they want to work with you, because you are unique, you're yourself, you're doing your thing, and people are attracted to that because they're saying, oh, I can be myself.
Yes.
I'm around Corrina. And so that's fueling your growth. And then so pushing that back in, that kind of flywheel of effect here is like you're teaching that, you're preaching that, and you're allowing people to be themselves, which allows them to grow. And in doing so, they're attracting more people to come to your organization as well.
Yes.
It works perfectly. So to answer your question, because now I know everything about about CMS, is
Our viewers are confused where we are. We're at the JW Marriott in Orlando, Florida.
look, I mean, it makes perfect sense. You know your lane to grow your business, and you have people around you to support you to make sure that it is a successful organization
But
to
I think
grow
you're
in that
missing
same way.
something. I think you're seriously missing.
I probably might be.
Because what I'm hearing, right, is amazing leadership.
Yeah.
The ability to know that you don't have
True.
we don't always have the answers.
Yes, we don't.
You know,
We have to lean into everybody else, and we have to give them a voice.
right?
Yes.
And to give people a voice at the table,
Yeah.
to hear new ideas,
Yes.
because our old ideas sometimes may not always work.
No. Think about how many of us don't want to change at our age and being 27 years in,
Yeah.
right? I didn't really think about that a couple years ago. Do I have an ego? Do I not have an ego? What do I want? I have probably 15 people that work for me that you personally know that you don't know their CMS.
Probably.
And
I love that.
but that's really what the people are looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And without going out there to have all the back end stuff. So we really become what we consider old school, probably before your time, but our time is like old school clearinghouse, right?
Yeah.
We become the operation center to support what the new age originator wants to do.
There was
I've got good skin. I don't know. How old do you think I am?
Joe's 22.
No.
But listen, there's an orchestra. There's an orchestra in LA.
Yeah.
The guy started this. It's called the Intergenerational Orchestra. He's got older musicians and younger musicians, right? So the younger musicians get the wisdom of the older people, and the older people get to relearn their instruments from the younger people.
Yes.
And so they're both giving. And I think leadership is about giving
But they have to be okay and want to do it.
and
too.
okay to receive,
Yes.
right? Because the hardest thing sometimes is receiving help.
Yes. Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, I smack Deshaun around all the time. I mean, he tells us what to do, and we have to receive that he is getting. No, do it this way. It's easier.
Yeah.
So how hard is it working with your son, who's obviously right? He's
Yeah.
up and coming. He's got a great brain on him. I've seen his marketing stuff, right? How hard is it for him to say, "Hey, Mom, I don't think this is going to work"?
Oh, it's not hard at all. He just says, "Don't do that shit."
That makes sense. That's easy. It's easy.
Yeah.
That's a fun relationship between mother and son, right? That you can say those things to your mother sometimes without getting smacked.
Yeah.
Do you smack him back?
That's why he had to move to Phoenix. So he could be far enough away where we didn't touch each other.
There you go. I love it. I love it.
But no, it's really not that hard because I had to grow a different mindset for myself a few years ago to think about what the future of CMS would look like, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's when I'm talking to my peers, more of our age, they are still stuck in a little bit of a time capsule, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing to change your business? What are you doing to elevate your business? What are you doing that's going to attract the people to you?
Yeah.
Not just because I'm nice, not just because I've been in the mortgage business almost 30 years, not just because I know a little something, but it's more or less now you're talking to the everyday marketer who's going to go out there, not necessarily the everyday originator, right?
Yeah.
We can provide the clearinghouse behind them to help with the originations. But how are they going to market? That's not me. Like, I'm not going to the bar at 6. I'm not going to all these events at 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. I'm in bed by 8:45.
Amen. Amen.
But how can I tell them what to do and how to run their business if I'm not doing that part? So they bring that to the table, and that's what I consider like the new age originator.
I love that.
With no ego. They can be Broadway Mortgage. They can be Mission One Mortgage. They can be Union Latino. They can be whatever they want to be and look and feel that way. And we just provide the support.
That's
So
awesome.
you support them in whatever way they want to be, and that's their way of getting business, because each originator does things slightly different,
They do.
right? You know, there's some that lean heavily on social. There's some that lean heavily on golfing.
Yes.
You know, on direct mailers. Like everyone's got their kind of unique space. They, like you said, they're marketers.
Right.
And I think that's a really interesting thing. I think for the people out there watching this, like if you are a loan officer, your originator, whether you're broker, retail, bank loan officer, you are a marketer.
You are.
Like you're first a marketer, second an originator, in my opinion. Because and that's what we get hired to do.
Let's bring this down to Corrina Carter though, right? Because I have the privilege of knowing you, right? And so I know that the interview that I do sometimes with you and some other people that I know, I get to tap a little bit deeper, right? You seem more free to me today than you've seemed in a couple of years. Where is this new freedom coming from? There's this freedom I've been feeling from you on social media, and I'm feeling it sitting next to you right now. So there's a freedom, and I know specifically, like 10 years ago, I didn't feel that same sense of like your freedom that you have.
Do you think it's freedom, or do you think it's embracing like a new mindset? So maybe
I think they're both. I think they're connected. They're connected.
Is like stepping into what I consider a different role of more of a leadership and coaching role than I am an originator. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I had to support 2 kids, 4 generations, still do, for 30 years, and been a single mom. So I always cared about where that next origination came from. Now I care more about where that next originator comes from. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So it's a little different.
Yeah, because the vibes are just different. The vibes have changed. And I think that's when you know somebody and you can feel it, because I saw it in your social media last couple of years. Like I saw the evolution, you know what I mean? And I was seeing, because look, I evolved myself, right? I mean, we're always evolving. I mean, if we can't be the same we were a couple of years ago, that's just the way human beings are. But the freedom that I'm feeling from you I think it's just amazing.
And I think it's more on embracing the story that I'm finally telling, right? That you're talking about, like, still writing a little pieces of my book about that girl. Just 2 weeks ago in Florida was the first time I merged my personal and professional story together. And it was a mile from where the bus dropped me off, where I ran away from home at 12. Just 2 miles down the street from here.
Wow.
So I wasn't going to tell that part. But then we went out and we took some pictures and we were kind of in the area. So I think part of that too is learning that I can teach these younger generations to be that girl, that guy, that whatever they want to be, is to embrace what they're looking to do. It's just learning what they're after, what lights them up, right? And sometimes we're before our time and sometimes we're after our time, right? And
I mean,
know which person that is we're talking to.
And Joe, I think that's just so important, especially in a social media setting, because we're always talking about this one word, and I hate this word, by the way, right? We always talk about being authentic, right?
Yes.
And it's overused. It's like saturated, right?
Yeah, so be you.
Yeah, it's like, so I mean, like in social media, I feel like sometimes we want to pretend to be somebody that we're not, right?
You know, I recently saw an interview with Oprah Winfrey and Al Roker, and they were talking about their age, right? Because they're both getting older, and they were saying how a lot of people have been commenting that they're getting softer, and that we soften up as we age. And Oprah, who, I don't necessarily watch Oprah, but I like, I'm big Oprah. She's great. I mean, you got mad respect, right? I mean, she's created a major media empire, so she knows her stuff. But what she said really stuck with me. She said, look, it's not that we're getting softer, is that like I'm getting actually sharper in my focus of who I am and being able to present that to people in a more refined way. And I'm getting refined with age, and I'm getting refined with my experience. Now I have the wisdom to use my personality and who I really am in the way that makes the most sense. And I feel like that's kind of what you both are saying here. It's like with all the experience that you have, you're able to sharpen your focus and drive to where you really need to be in this moment.
Yes.
And I love that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's the freedom.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, look, man, thank you so much for stopping by here.
Thanks
the minute I saw you out there, I was like, you got to come in here. There's no way you're going to pass up the booth and not record an episode. That's just not going to happen. So listen, guys, Corrina Carter, CMS Mortgage. If you don't know her, you know her now. Check her out. She's that girl to watch.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Get out of here, JP.
45.
Looks like Tom Duncan.
Sounds like, must be a duck.
Jersey girls are the best.
What?
The bunny ears are back.